Good morning and welcome to the new episode, the Saturday special of Dr. Lamba's Awakening Call. Life is a battlefield, and so is business, especially entrepreneurship. And Mahabharata is supposed to be a real guide for prospective entrepreneurs. I was sitting with some professors of management, it's quite a couple of years back, and one of them remarked that Gita should be made compulsory reading and whole of Mahabharata should be made recommended reading for any student, especially of management. And when I look at Mahabharata, I find that it holds a lot of lessons. And I'm reminded of a story by Leo Tolstoy, What Men Live By. And the last word is, it's not given to man to know his deeds. The story is simple. An angel was sent to the earth by God to serve his punishment, and he was asked to find the answer to the question, what is not given to man? It's a very difficult question. What's not given? Everything is given and yet people don't have it. So the angel assumed the form of a shoemaker. A rich and arrogant man came to him with an expensive piece of leather and asked him to make a pair of nice shoes. Now, instead of the angel making shoes, the angel made a mistake and made the slippers for him. The shoemaker's master became very anxious and he said, "What are you doing? The client had asked you to make a pair of nice shoes and you have made slippers. And now when the client comes, he'll be extremely angry." And lo and behold, the wife of the client man comes running and asks to make slippers instead of shoes because her husband had died. The dead was supposed to wear slippers and not shoes. The angel smiled and he had found the answer. It's not given to man to know his needs. And that's exactly Mahabharata says that do your karma, do your job. Don't bother for the result. That's not in your hand. In Mahabharata, Krishna asked Duryodhana and his cousin Arjuna to choose between him and his Narayani Sena, the mighty army. While Duryodhana chooses the Narayani Sena, Arjuna chooses Krishna. And Duryodhana laughs at this naive attitude of Arjuna. And Narayani Sena couldn't do much, but Krishna enabled by himself to win. Now, why did Arjuna choose Krishna? That's a pertinent question. Every entrepreneur has to choose, to make a decision. What made Arjuna choose Krishna? He was given the first option. He could have chosen Narayani Sena. It was because of his past experience. Duryodhana and his brothers had a very comfortable life since they were born. They had nurtured the dream of becoming the king and ruling Hastinapur. Arjuna and his brothers were born in a forest. And they were living a life of very austere type. When they came to Hastinapur after the death of the father, they once had to escape it because they were troubled and they were sought to be burnt. So in spite of being royals, the Pandavas had led a life of hardships. Duryodhana and his brothers had enjoyed princely comforts. So Arjuna had known that in spite of being so close to power and royal life is capable of driving humans in unpredictable situations. And those unpredictable situations, you have got to choose. Duryodhana was quite considered. Now Arjun, because he had gone through tough time, could see the Supreme Being in Krishna. And he had exhausted all his options, so he chose him over everything else. That Krishna is my refuge. So there's choice. The choices we make determine our destiny. If a businessman makes a good choice, he would be successful. And human choices can never guarantee a specific outcome. Entrepreneurs are daring. You have to dare. Arjun dared. Well, I'm choosing Krishna. It's a challenge. That daring also identified that he was defying the safety net. He was denying the comfort zone. So entrepreneurs, if they want to be successful, have to deny the comfort zone, have to refuse the safety net, and jump headlong. That's a management decision. And that's a management lesson. You are venturing into unknown, whether you're a startup or a business or any diversification, backward integration or forward integration. Everything has to be decided, and until and unless you have got the capacity to take risk, you can never be successful. And one thing any entrepreneur has to hold on for support is the intuition which they trust to their core. So that's the third lesson. First, the choice. Second, ability to take risk. Third, depend on your intuition. Yet they face the same question at every step. Which Tolstoy's story says, do I know what I need? We don't. The resources are limited, but they can be put to alternate uses. That's a basic concept of economics. You remember when someone asked Newton how he had discovered gravity, he replied, by thinking and thinking. Those who think believe in God, and those who don't think don't believe. So here, it is believing yourself, your intuition. And every entrepreneur knows that there is no picture perfect plan. And that's what Bhagavad Gita does. If you have ever walked in freshly fallen snow as a kid, you would see. As you step back, your feet would go down and get stuck. And you feel that you're going to be stuck there forever. But with each step, you dig into snow and disperse it, making your way for the subsequent step. Ultimately, you reach your destination. But the feeling of uncertainty keeps lurking till you are made to the end. Now in Mahabharata, Bhishma was killed by the help of Krishna, otherwise he would not have been killed. The Dronacharya, the Guru, was killed by Pandavas, commander-in-chief. Karna was killed, again thanks to Krishna. Jayadratha was killed thanks to Krishna who hid the sun. Now, but still they were not sure what's going to be the end. And what was the end? Everybody was killed. And even all the sons of Kauravas were killed. So they were immersing in snow each and every time. The point is that the toil and sweat of the entrepreneurs is an obvious path to the desired end. Now, Arjuna, as I said earlier, could make a right choice because he depended on his intuition and because he had lived a life of hardship. So documented knowledge is good to have for a broader perspective. But every entrepreneur's struggle is unique. It doesn't have a copy, no. It is each one has to find their own unique answers. And how do you do it? By just working and working it out until the unexpected situations unfold. Now another thing which comes up, people misconceive karma. Gita lays a lot of emphasis on karma. Karma is not anything which is happening, it's your work. Work without worrying about the outcome, states Gita very clearly. And that makes absolute sense. Don't care what the result. Something is going to happen, okay? I'm working properly. I've been led with plan. The project plan has been made and I'm working to that. I've also done the risk analysis. And when you don't know the outcome, no entrepreneur knows the outcome. He can hope for the best. That's it. So when you don't know the outcome, why worry about the result? And indeed, indeed, the entrepreneur's ultimate desired outcome is to make a product which the customers would like and buy. It's as simple as that. Reaching this goal requires the entrepreneurs to meet multiple smaller goals. That's the end goal. But then each goal, there are goal posts. You have to cross them. And they are not a mirage. They look to be a mirage. So you reach them and they disappear, throwing a new challenge. It's just like walking through snow, digging your way with each step. So negotiating your way through the networking of the multiple goals with perseverance while being flexible and be open to shifting the gears for a trip in an unplanned road. You see, again, I come back to Mahabharata. You were shifting the goals. Each person had to be killed in a different way. And that teaches you that you cannot be satisfied that this commander-in-chief is dead. Bhishma has died, so now we are successful. No. Another one crops up and maybe more serious than the other. So you can perfect the goal, lead a goal, and that's the karma theory. Keep on working, keep on plodding, keep on thinking, keep on implementing your thought. Every action has to be planned. And yet the outcome is not clear. You may not be successful. Now let's imagine that in case of Jadar, for example, the sun had not been hidden. The Indra had thought, okay, now Krishna is trying to hide the sun, but I'll make the clouds go away, which had hidden the sun, and I, being the god of the clouds, will save Jadar, because Karna is my son. But then Krishna knew that you have got to take the risk, and it took a very calculated risk. And that's what the entrepreneurs have got to do. So this concept of karma, do your job without waiting for the outcome. But that doesn't mean take ham-headed action, without thought, without planning. The planning has to be done. Actions have to be demarcated and then taken. Choices have to be made. Risks have to be taken. And all that is a part of management and entrepreneurship. And Gita teaches all that. And that is why now at least in 5 universities, Gita has been made a compulsory reading for the students of the management studies. As a matter of fact, Mahabharata has to be taken as an allegory of life, work, and existence itself. It is not to be seen as a fight between two tribes, two families. No. It's a fight between two concepts. And that fight entails complete management. Each management technique which are taught to the management students today has been enumerated to in Mahabharata. Unfortunately, people did not understand the hidden meaning of Mahabharata. And it's not a mere fight, as I said. It is to be taken at two levels: spiritual, metaphysical, and as an experience worth taking. So everything which an entrepreneur needs, you can find it if you study Gita and Ramayana, full Mahabharata in the proper way. Do it, and entrepreneurship is there for you. Thank you.